What is the most British thing in your opinion? Offering tea when people are upset. Having had the pleasure to study alongside British boys and gals, I'd say them going let's grab a pint at basically any point of the day. Any day. All the time. Good times. Beans on toast. Twat. Wanker. Bollocks. Bloody. Taking the piss. The lot. Cuppa. Etc. Lol. As an American with parents from there, I can tell immediately when a commenter is from the UK. Self-deprecating humor. Being British is about driving home from work in a German car, to eat an Indian takeaway, to watch American shows on a Japanese TV and drink Belgian beer in a home built by Polish brick layers, standing on Turkish carpets, sat on a Swedish sofa and being scared by anything foreign. Monty Python. Queuing. The UK SAS and US Navy SEALs were doing a joint training exercise over a week-long period. The US SEALs put a sign on their dorm stating second to none. The SAS responded in turn by displaying a large sign on their dorm simply stating none. Keep calm and carry on. Hanging on in quiet desperation is the English way. Pink Floyd. Roast dinners. Though we're not really known for our culinary excellence, the Great Sunday Roast is a British institution. UCAHNT. The name Nigel. Brian Blessed. The band Madness and all of their songs. Yorkshire Gold. Turning on the kettle as soon as you get home. Dame Judi Dench. Dry humor, which I actually find hilarious. The most British thing ever is that scene in Snatch where he runs home to collect his money from his safe and run from the mob. First thing he does is put on the kettle quick and run to the safe, only to be interrupted by the mob boss who tells him to make him one too, as they couldn't find the sugar earlier when they were waiting for him to show up. Bus wankers. If you know, you know. Fish and chips. Beans on toast. Mean sarcasm. Stiff upper lip. Queuing up. The indistinguishable distances. In Texas I can drive 2.5 hours across Houston to visit a friend. In UK they said, "You're going to drive from Cardiff to Bristol? I mean, I can take the train if that's what you're." I don't understand your question. World collapses around them. British person. We seem to be in a spot of bother. I'm terribly sorry. Going on holiday and acting like we own the place. Been doing it for hundreds of years. Peppa Pig. It's so British that it turns kids around the world occasionally British, my 4-year-old included. Weatherspoons. Wishing to not embarrass oneself. Not wanting to attract negative attention. Being polite. The royal family. When you say the royal family, 9 people out of 10 will think about the English one when in fact there are several royal families around the world. David Attenborough. Maybe not the most, but it made me laugh. My friend's mom is British. We were on the West Coast attending a wedding for a third friend. Mom brought her own tea and kettle with her because she has to make her cuppa the right way. They live in Louisiana. Don't get her started on the abomination Southerners call tea, lol. The word proper and how they use it. I love it. I was complaining to my British friend once about anything and everything and her response, "That proper sucks, mate," was exactly accurate to the situation. Fish and chips. Being shirtless and sunburnt throwing plastic chairs at Germans in Benidorm. Sarcasm. Our sense of humor is our greatest export. I feel at home when whoever I'm with, no matter how many of them are all ripping each other new ones on the wind-up. The washing up bowl if you're thinking the what. Exactly. Getting into a fight with some guy in the pub for no reason then being arrested. Full English breakfast hold the black pudding. Please. Edited for calling black pudding blood sausage. Smile. Telling someone to bugger off. Getting wasted and being obnoxious at tourist destinations. Listening to Oasis, drinking lager, and calling everyone a twat. Mushy peas. I think it can be attributed to style. It's not unrivaled. British style is purely blood British. Pubs being absolutely heaving at 5 p.m. on a Friday in cities and towns up and down the country. Never really seen it anywhere else to the same extent. The Grand Tour, formerly Top Gear. Shoving emotions deep down inside and making fun of everything grin. Getting ridiculously hammered on holidays. As an American, my favorite cliché is to believe that there's some super mild British grandma or grandpa out there who is told the most horrific news. And instead of freaking out and shouting, getting emotionally involved, they just get the biggest shocked look on their face and clutch their tea closer saying my word. That is, in my wildly uneducated opinion, the most British thing. Taking the piss to your face, but being loyal to you behind your back. Hanging on in quiet desperation. Brexit. Fucking your own country up on purpose and pretend to be happy with it. Just in order to save face. I used to date an Englishman. He took me to England and I met his parents. Dad wore a tweed cap and an oilskin coat when walking around town. He looked a bit like Peter O'Toole. Mum wore a cardigan, glasses on a chain, a tweed skirt, support hose, and sensible shoes. At one point, the little terrier dog trotted into the kitchen and looked at her. She said in her quavering soprano voice to the dog, "Would you like your tea now?" I looked out the back window and a little red fox was trotting across the garden. Later that afternoon, the boyfriend walked into the kitchen and said, "Put the kettle on. Love, I just about died." Dogging. Vulgar but funny football chants. That smooth, intelligent, well-spoken, poetic accent. For some reason the dumbest statements ever created will sound profound with a British accent. They seem to have based their culture around it. Proud, polite, pomp, traditional. Calling a vagina a fanny. Tesco, Nando's, rain and tea. Shouting it's coming home while rioting in other countries knowing the Three Lions will just choke on penalties or something. Standard, not offensive words as insults. Mr. Bean. Bangers and mash? According to Counter-Strike lobbies it's your nan's spastic. Physical fitness activities, athletic games performed while wearing thick unbreathable clothes in various shades of white. Working people repeatedly voting for the Tories. Person facepalming, person shrugging, person facepalming. Brits. Clotted cream. Imperialism. Imperialism. Low standard housing with separate hot and cold water taps on the bathroom sink. Taking the piss. I literally love that phrase. Oppression of other countries and cultures and double standards, of course. Fuckin' peas. Would you like a side of peas? No. Why the fuck would I want peas with a fish taco? Washing up and not rinsing the foam off the plates. It's Tuesday innit? Binge drinking. Yelling about school shootings when an American tells a mild joke about British teeth or funny accents or something. Actors named Ian McShane, Ian McDiarmid, Ian McKellen all top-notch.